Well, I'm getting pretty anxious to get my new workbench into place and start using it. And today I'm going to make the top for it, and I'm going to be using something called Torsion Box Technology. So stick around and let me show you what that's all about. There's something in woodworking called torsion boxes, and this is one example of what a torsion box, the inside of a torsion box, looks like. Now typically what happens with this is these are joined together, and there's a variety of ways of making these. This is just one way, and all I've done here, you can see that I've cut these out on both sides here and made them so that they join up, and it's quite a bit of work, as you can see. The purpose of this is it makes a super strong structure, and it doesn't weigh a lot because there's a lot of air in there, but it's supported all over. And what happens with this then is it would typically get glued onto a piece of plywood or something like that, and then there would also be another one glued on top. So there's sort of glue everywhere that you can imagine, top and bottom, and it makes a super strong way of putting wood together that's very light. And if you're careful with the way you do it, you can get it very, very flat. And that's sort of the key of what I'm wanting to do here. I want my top to be as flat as I can possibly get it. I like to replace this top every few years because it gets gouged and stained and dirty and holes in it and all sorts of things. So I like to refresh it every now and again. But I also have this steel vise that I really like. Now this MDF should be sitting sort of at the same level as that bench. So what I need then is a torsion box that's like about, well, maybe 1.25 inches or something like so. So a very thin. So as I got thinking about a very thin torsion box that I would have to make, it dawned on me, why don't I use the most popular torsion box that all of us have in our houses? If you have a hollow core door, that is Torsion Box Technology, and the purpose for it is it makes it light, it makes it strong, and it makes it very flat. So I went to one of my Habitat for Humanity stores, and I went through all of their doors, and I picked out what I thought was the best door there. It's a hollow core door. It's very light. You can see where the hinge was. It only cost me $10. I checked it while I was there as best I could, and it's absolutely flat, and I've rechecked it since I got home, and it's absolutely dead flat. All I need to do now is to start cutting it down to size and adapting it to fit on my workbench. So there's my workbench, and of course the door on there, and it's sitting nice and flat. Now I cut these strips about 4 days ago, and I checked them. They were 8% moisture content, nice and dry. I cut them ahead of time in case there was some wood movement. There's been nothing. You can see they're absolutely flat. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take those and attach those. I'm going to glue and screw those onto the base of the workbench. Well, the lips on the edge of that base continue to harden up. I'm going to move on to the torsion box top here. And what I have to do, and I'm doing it right in front of my vise here so you see, what I have here is a piece of plywood, and I've had to glue this together, and I couldn't use pins in this because I'm going to have to run this through my planer to get it the perfect thickness. So I've used screws to hold it together because eventually this is all going to slide in here. And I have a piece of wood that I haven't quite planed yet, but it's nice nice and straight and flat, and it will go in here. But the first thing I need to do is, first of all, remove all of this cardboard. And I'm not going to make you sit through it because there's no magic here. It's just some steady work to make sure that you clean up these edges here and that you get a nice flat surface on there. So I'm going to carry on and do that. I'll plane that down, and then I'll show you how I'm going to glue that in there. For this glue up, I'm going to be using something called construction adhesive, and this is called PL Premium, whatever that is, I don't know. If you've watched my channel, you've seen me use this before the odd time. I don't use it very often, and the reason is because I don't use enough of it, and it tends to dry out a bit quick on me. But for this, I want something that's a slow drying, because it's going to take me a while to distribute the glue in there. It's going to take me a while to set it all up, and then I have to clamp this, and I can't use pins on here or air nails because they'll go right through this very thin plywood. Well, there's what the clamp job looks like when it's all done. And I was hoping to get my vise out of here today and get it ready for tomorrow, but there's really not much I can do. I can't really move this, and it weighs an awful lot with all these clamps on here. So we'll leave it overnight to harden up. Well, there's just not enough room in here for 2 workbenches and me, so we're going to have to say goodbye to an old friend. The next thing I'm going to do is to install my vise, and I've got some clamps on here just so it doesn't move around on me. But what I need to do is drill some holes down through here. So there's 4 holes, and then I'm going to flip the whole thing over like that, and I'll be able to put the top on, drill through the top, and we should be all ready to fasten it down. Okay, well, I thought a brand new workbench deserves a brand new top, so I might as well do that as well. And now this is put on here, and I'm only going to use a few screws on here as well, and it'll be fastened to the, I guess, the sub top. And the purpose of that is I'll be able to take this, I'll be able to flip it, and when both sides get so badly damaged, I can just replace this very top. So, and it's going to be thick enough to accommodate the thickness of my vise on that side, so that's good. Now I'm just going to go ahead and fasten this down, and then I can finally put the vise on. So I'm going to fasten this vise on, and I'm going to put bolts up from the bottom, and the bolts coming up from the bottom are going to go into these T-nuts that I have here. But I want the T-nuts to be a little bit recessed, and you can't, I know that they're 1 inch, and you can't really put that on there. So what I've done, I've gone to my drill press, and I've made a hole, and I can overlay that hole, and I can eyeball it close enough that when I drill down from the top, now I need to clamp that, and when I drill down from the top, that'll make a nice little area that will fit into, that T-nut will fit into. Just check the depth. Yeah, that's perfect. All right, and I'll just go ahead now and do the rest of them. Well, as far as the construction goes, that's the bench is all made. The vise is finally attached. That was a little bit of a struggle, but I just love the way this is going to operate. Yes, I painted the top of my workshop workbench. And I used an epoxy paint, and yes, it'll get scuffed and it'll get painted and it'll get glue on it over time. But for right now, it's going to be perfect. And I did it for two reasons. The first reason is it's a anti-skid type of surface, so things tend not to skid on it. But here's the real reason that I did it. And here's the real reason that I wanted to have a gray top, so that when I show you wooden objects, they don't tend to blend in with the workbench top. Well, that concludes this video on making the top from the workbench, and it also concludes the workbench video. And I'm so happy with the way this has turned out. This is going to be a real asset for me, and it's perfect. I know it doesn't work for everybody, but that's the beauty of making a workbench. You can make it to suit whatever it is that you need. I'm Colin Canet for Woodwork Web. Thanks for watching.